After many years chasing things, his words remind me that peace was always waiting inside my breath.
Listening to him feels like someone gently waking me from a long, exhausting life of rushing.
At my age, I finally understand what he means when he says, we have wasted enough time.
If we just listen and then go home back to normal, then we waste our time, your time. Because we have spent hours to get to here, right? And later you still have to spend a couple more hours to get home. That's a long journey to come here and go home. And if we just listen and go home and back to normal, then you waste your time. Just like many years before. Don't. This is not the time, this is not the right time for us to waste anymore. You have wasted a lot already, so let's take it into action and practice. Breathe in and breathe out to see your breath. This is the way to practice for you to live mindfully and peacefully every day. And this is the time for us to practice to prepare ourselves for our last moment of our life. Remember when I said that earlier? When we are sick, when we are in critical condition, we fight for each and every breath. This is when we know, when we feel that how important it is for our breath. But for right now, we don't care. Let's not do that anymore. Breathe in and breathe out. Consider that this is my last breath. Consider that this breathing in breath is my last breath. If you can consider that way, you will appreciate each and every breath you breathe in and out with mindfulness, with awareness. Then you will not waste it anymore. If you can do this every day, I promise you, your life will change to be a better person. Free of anxiety, free of stress, free of depression. Earlier today, one of the ladies came to me and offered me some flowers and things like that at lunchtime. She said, Venerable Sir, I'm the one who say thank you to you. You saved me on the road, but I'm not sure that you hurt me or not. I am the one, after listening to you, I am the one who lived with anxiety and depression. But for the last 5 days after I met you, you have changed my life. I breathe in and breathe out for the last 5 days, and I don't have that kind of depression and anxiety anymore. And I know that it's just temporary right now because I just started. And of course, that will be just a temporary. This will take a while for us to have a new habit, to change ourselves. We have worked on so many cases like that, depression, anxiety, stress, that they could not sleep overnight. They could not. Even just 1 hour, they could not sleep. And during the daytime, they are not them anymore. How terrible it is if we live like that. But we didn't realize, we thought that, just people, not us. No, it's our turn. Sooner or later, it's going to be our turn. Don't let us go there. Be mindful with our breath. Breathe in, aware of that. When the monkey mind pop up, acknowledge that monkey mind. Acknowledge that thought. I have thought. By saying silently in our mind that thought. Come back to the breathing. And then breathe in, breathe out. Another thought pop up. Acknowledge it. Come back here. For most of us, if we don't have the awareness, we just follow those thoughts until the end of that thought. And then another thought pop up, we follow after it. And now that we practice mindfulness, we acknowledge it, we aware, we know that we have thought. We come back with this present moment right now and here, which is our breathing. That is how we train ourselves to have a new habit If we can do that, every time thought pop up, acknowledge it, bring it back here. Bring it back here, back. That's all we need to do. And then when you feel anything within your body, itchy, numb, pain, anything, acknowledge it, feeling, come back. Sound, any type of sound, acknowledge it, sound, come back here. We don't have to ask who did that, why, where, and what. We don't need to. Just acknowledge that is the sound. It will come and it go. If we can practice that every day, and during the day when we have free time, we sit down and relax and breathe in and breathe out just like that. Be aware of each and every breath. Mindful with it. And then when we do things, cooking, eating, shower, everything in our daily life, we just do one thing at the time. And mindful with that thing. Mindful with it. So many days that, well, tonight Aloka wasn't here, but for many times when I talk like this and Aloka just bark or Aloka come out and everybody are sidetracked. Turn into Aloka, not me anymore. That is, I give that example for you to understand that we always very easy to be sidetracked. With anything surround us, we get ourselves sidetracked right away. That is not mindfulness. Mindfulness is stay within this present moment right now. This is our job right here. Mindfulness with our breathing right here. Listening to my talk right now. That is mindfulness. Right? If we can practice that and change our daily routine, daily activities by doing one thing at a time and pay fully attention to it. Fully attention to that. And please, liberate your lovers a moment, sometime. Don't live with her and him all the time. I'm talking about your cell phone. Your cell phone is your lovers, your true lovers. Don't live with it too much. And I mention this is because I have the reason. It's because we've been living with it and then we depend on it too much. We lose our memories a lot. Okay? And the more we live with it, the more we cannot concentrate. Because too much thing going on up there. Right? So sometime when you need to breathe, leave him and her alone. On the table, don't touch, go away. Find a different place, as long as you don't see him and her. Sit down, relax, breathe. It's not that you cannot use it. You can use it, but you have to make time for yourself to practice mindfulness. And then when you cook, leave him and her alone. Don't cook and then watch or listening to music. When you eat, leave him and her alone. Be with your family. You see that we have not, when our body is sitting there on that chair with the whole family, but our mind wasn't there. We are doing something else. Our mind is wandering things with our lovers. And then when we staying in the living room together with everybody, and everybody using, touching, talking with their own lovers. Is that you? Why you laugh so hard? So, this is something that we really need to change to have a better life, seriously. And then after you're done, you're more than welcome to touch him and her. It's not a problem. It's just that you have to make your own time to practice this. Okay? So that is the key right there. All you need to do is just use that key, unlock yourself. So that peace and happiness can begin with you. Peace always begins from within ourselves, not out there. Our world is not at peace, then don't expect that world to be at peace. our inside world have to be at peace first. Without peace within ourselves, there will be no peace within our family. If there is no peace within our family, there will be no world peace. It doesn't matter how much we walk. If we walk for the rest of our life just like this, to Washington D.C. and then go around America and all the country, but people are not joining us on this mission to walk together, he's still just a saying. Just a moment of peace like everybody coming out right now. That's it. You have to walk with us for the end of our life. By practicing this every day, that is how we build peace for our own and our family and for our future generations. Our kids, our grandkids, and for ourselves to have a better place to live. So how many of us that willing to walk with the venerable monks to Washington D.C.? Okay, after I say this, means that tomorrow you're not going to be on the road with us, okay? You walk with us in spirit only. Walk with us in spirit only by practicing this and have loving kindness and compassion. It is a must. Otherwise, we will suffer again. Then it's too sad. Because our venerable monks, we only pass through this town one time. There will be no second time, is that right? And we don't know when we're going to meet each other in person again. We don't know. Could be there one more, could be never. But in our heart, in our mind, if we can walk together, we have each other in our heart and in our mind, that means we walk together on this mission to make it happen, to have a better place for all beings to live. And this requires all the effort. Without effort, we can't make this happen. So who in here that willing to put 100% of effort into this mission? Well, I hope with all this sound is going to happen because we seen so much sufferings around us already. So I truly hope that we will take this into action after tonight. Tonight, when we go home, started from driving. Mindful when you drive. There are many people, let me tell you a story. With this crowd, there are many people, they are outpatient when they're stuck in the road. Is that right? Yes. Who have that problem? Raise your hand. And why you still here? Huh? Or because I'm here. Just because I'm here. But do you feel peace right now? Yes? Okay, we received one of the messages from one of the gentlemen, I believe. He said that he spent 4 hours driving to come to see us. And it was too crowded. And it created chaos. And he was disappointed. And then he left. On the way home, he realized one thing. That peace with condition is not the right peace. And that is something that he realized. And he sent that message to us to say that he appreciated so much. In any condition, if we can manage our emotion, that I have said this many times, if we can manage our emotion, it doesn't matter where, what, we still going to have peace. It doesn't matter if we stuck in the traffic, if we stand in the cold and many people rushing, but if we can control, if we can manage our emotion and stay from within, we will not suffer, we will not disappointed. Because this is our own journey, no one else, right? This journey is the journey we chose. Nobody forced us. We chose to come out here to see the Venerable Monks. Is that right? Okay, so when we chose that journey, regardless of how bad it is, we still the owner of that chosen. We have to take it. And we have to consider that coming out to see the Venerable Monks now, that are going to be many people, because everybody wants to see, everybody wants to seek for peace. So we cannot expect anything out from it. We just have to be flexible. Flexible on any kind of conditions. So if we expect something, then peace will not happen. And I love his message so much. And today that I mentioned about it to let you know that if you are one of that person, don't be disappointed. As long as you know, as long as you listen to this and you realize something, truly realize something, even just a very little bit, you work through it, it will bring you benefit instead of react. That's again, I said, react. We react because too many people crowded and then the environment is not what I want, what we want. And that is the reason why when we enter into North Carolina and so many people rushing on the side of the monks, and I said, right on that night, I respectfully request all the participants not to walk with us in person. And for the last 3 days, people still walk. But then when I stop and ask them in a nice way, they stop. They stop walking with us. It's because when many people walk in and rushing through the crowd, that create more, is not a very calm environment for so many people that I have spent many hours standing in line just waiting for that peaceful moment of the monk arrive. See, there's something like that, a lot of things like that. And there's a lot of things that is out of our control. And we just have to manage our own feeling, emotion. That I mentioned many times. This physical body only suffers 10%. Only 10% sufferings. But when we react, that adds 90% on top of that. Makes us suffer 100%. So we should only live with that 10% and then it will go away. Don't add that 90% on top of it. We've been adding it many times in our life. This is the time right now that we shouldn't add any more onto it. Okay, can we do that at least? Yes. And so we will walk together to Washington, D.C. and for the rest of our life. Is that right? Yes. You promise you will practice? Yes. Because I will ask again this question. Yes, right? Yes. And then after this journey done, we will still practice together online. Yes. Okay, that's a promise. And to keep this promise is very difficult. Okay, I'm telling you, if you want to go to heaven, it's easier, much easier than keeping our promise. Because we promise a lot, but we didn't do it. We promised ourselves a lot too, we didn't do it. So I hope this is the time where we will promise and we will do it. Because I said, probably, just let's say this is the last call for all of us then. Because we don't know when is the second pandemic come. Which it will come. If we keep on spreading hate and angers, delusion, greedy and everything to this universe, everything will come to us. And it's heavier every day, every time. So we should stop spreading all those things into the universe from now. Only spread loving kindness and compassion to the universe. And every day in the morning when we wake up, before our minds pick up all the trash to chew over and over, please remember my message my statement. Get a piece of paper and a pen, I'll write it down. Today is going to be my peaceful day. Write that down, read it over and over with our eyes, and then read it out loud with our mouth to tell the universe that today is going to be my peaceful day, so that no one can mess it up except ourselves. We are the only person who can mess our days up. Let us all say that together one time. After I count to 3, today is going to be my peaceful day, okay? 1, 2, 3. With that voice, with that sound, with that energy, we can feel it. If together, everybody all working together, joining together, with that energy, it will spread all over this universe. Everybody doing the same thing. And then when it spread all those loving kindness and peace and compassion to the universe, it will shower down, back down with us, to us, with all kind of love and kindness and compassion and peace. That is when the world begin with peace. That is when we have a better place for all beings to live. So we will be the history maker, not the monk. All of us are. Okay? So every day, please remember to write that down. And then after that, work through it. Be mindful. Work through it. Be mindful. At night time before bed, sit down for an hour before bed. Don't touch your lovers. Breathe in and breathe out. After that, rewind your day just like a movie. And ask to see if you have said or done anything wrong throughout your day. If you did, please, if you have hurt or injured anybody, just call him and her or send them a message and ask for forgiveness. And then after that, ask yourself to forgive yourself. Give yourself a chance. Promise yourself that you will fix that problem tomorrow. You will not repeat it again. And then go to bed. Tomorrow when we wake up, repeat the same process and make a vow that I will fix the mistake that I have made yesterday. I would not repeat that again for the rest of my life. If we could do that and walk throughout our day, we will have peace for our life and our families. Imagine all the people keep repeating that message, that statement every single morning. It will be very powerful. And that's all I want to share with you. I know that I have talked about this a lot. Are you bored now? No. Really? Or you just saying that to make me happy? So that I can go sleep? I hope not. Because when we talk about peace, I don't want to go too much about religions, because we are not here for religions. We're not here in trying to convert anybody. Simply just peace, loving kindness and compassion and mindfulness. This is what all beings deserve to have. Right? And so I have to repeat a lot of time, but every time when I ask, there are new audience a lot too, that they don't use social media. I was surprised. They didn't listen online. Not all, but a lot. And so this is a chance for those who have not heard about it to hear about it. And for those already heard about it, we can hear something. There should be 20% something new in it. If not, then that will also remind us. We just have to remind ourselves every day. Otherwise, we'll forget. Is that right? Yes. So I hope you enjoy your night and enjoy your time coming out here for the monks. And we wish you all be well, be happy, and be peaceful. And the last thing we will do, but I'm not sure that we have enough bracelet. I don't know how many, but probably 100,000 bracelet has passed out to the people. At first, only 1,000 that I carry with me. Okay, so we will pass out these bracelets, this one, peace bracelet is called peace bracelet because everybody calling that. Because we are on this mission, right? And that's simply just to remind us that to be mindful. And we have met the monks. We have to live with love and kindness and compassion and peace. That's what it reminds you when you look at it, okay? And that also tie you up with us so you cannot escape from walking to Washington, D.C. And all the venerable monks will go and hand it out for you. And when you receive it, please make a way out and for the people at the back to come to receive it. And please don't ask for pictures at this time because there are so many people and it's cold. So let everyone have a chance to receive one to go home. Okay, here's what we're gonna do, okay? While the venerable monks will give out the peace bracelet, please be mindful and reduce the noise. Let's make it a peaceful environment. And then we will also do the blessing while passing out the bracelet as well.
There is something quietly powerful about people of different faiths sitting together with no argument to win, no doctrine to defend, no enemy to defeat. They come not to prove who is right, but to remember what is shared. When strangers sit side by side, not as labels but as breathing human beings, something ancient awakens. It is the same longing that has lived in every generation, in every culture, under every sky. The longing to rest, the longing to be safe, the longing to feel at home in the world and in oneself. This longing has many names, but in the heart it is always called peace. Peace is often imagined as something far away, a future without war, a world without hatred, a time when humans finally learn how to live together. But in the Buddhist view, peace is not a political achievement or a historical milestone. It is a state of mind. It is not something that arrives after everything outside has been fixed. It is something that begins when the inside is understood. When people walk for peace, they may travel through cities, deserts, churches, temples, and streets, but the real journey is not measured in miles. It is measured in moments of awareness. Every step becomes meaningful only when the mind that takes it is awake. Without awareness, even the longest walk is only movement. With awareness, even standing still can be a pilgrimage. Human beings are always traveling. Even when sitting, the mind is moving. It runs into memories, into plans, into regrets, into fears. It rarely stays where the body is. Because of this, many people live their entire lives without ever truly arriving. They eat without tasting, breathe without noticing, love without understanding, and suffer without knowing why. They search for peace by changing their job, their partner, their country, their beliefs, but they carry the same restless mind wherever they go. Buddhism does not begin by trying to change the world. It begins by asking a quieter and more difficult question. What is happening in the mind right now? The Buddha did not promise a perfect world. He offered a path to understand suffering and to be free from being ruled by it. Peace, in this view, is not the absence of noise outside. It is the absence of war inside. When people of many faiths gather for peace, something important is already happening. They are proving that the heart is larger than any label. They are showing that beneath language, culture, and belief, the human experience is the same. Everyone wants to love and be loved. Everyone wants to avoid pain. Everyone fears loss. Everyone hopes for meaning. This shared humanity is not a theory. It can be felt. It is felt when strangers smile at each other without reason. It is felt when people listen instead of argue. It is felt when silence becomes comfortable. In those moments, peace is not an idea. It is a living experience. But peace is fragile when it is not understood. It can appear for a moment and disappear when the next conflict arises. That is why Buddhism does not rely on emotion alone. It teaches training. Just as the body must be trained to walk far, the mind must be trained to remain kind, calm, and clear. The journey of peace is therefore not a campaign but a practice. Not a slogan but a way of living. It begins with noticing the breath, with seeing a thought as a thought, with recognizing anger before it becomes violence, with feeling desire without being dragged by it. These small inner movements shape the outer world more than any speech ever could. When peace is born in one person, it quietly changes the space around them. Their words become softer, their reactions become slower, their presence becomes safe. Other people feel it without needing to understand it. This is how peace travels. Not by force, not by argument, but by example. The true journey for peace does not start on the road. It starts in the moment when a person decides to look inward honestly. It starts when someone admits, my suffering is not only caused by the world, it is also shaped by my mind. That moment is the first real step. Everything before it is only preparation. Across history, human beings have told different stories about the same mystery. Some speak of God, some speak of Buddha nature, some speak of love, some speak of truth. The words change, but the longing behind them does not. It is the longing to understand why we are here and how to live without destroying ourselves and each other. In Buddhism, there is a teaching called skillful means. It means that truth is not one rigid form. Different teachings exist because people are different. Some need stories, some need silence, some need discipline, some need devotion. A medicine is not wrong because it is not given to everyone. It is right because it heals the one who receives it. When people say that all religions point to peace, love, and compassion, this is not an attempt to erase differences. It is an attempt to see the shared heart beneath those differences. Buddhism does not demand that everyone become Buddhist. It only asks that suffering be understood and reduced. Compassion in Buddhism is not emotional weakness. It is clear seeing. It is understanding that every harmful action comes from confusion, fear, or pain. When a person is deeply at peace, they do not need to prove they are right. They do not need to dominate. They do not need to humiliate. They can disagree without hatred. They can protect without cruelty. In many religious traditions, the highest figure is one who embodies love and sacrifice. In Buddhism, the Buddha is not a god who saves by command. He is a human who woke up. His power was not in miracles but in understanding. He saw that craving creates suffering, that ignorance sustains it, and that freedom is possible through awareness. Different religions use different language to point to the same experience. A mind that is no longer controlled by fear, hatred, and endless wanting. Some call this salvation. Some call it awakening. Some call it union with God. Buddhism simply calls it freedom. In a multicultural society like the United States, people often live side by side with different beliefs without truly meeting. They see symbols but not hearts. They hear doctrines but not pain. Interfaith peace is not created by debates about whose book is correct. It is created when people recognize the same tears, the same hopes, the same vulnerability in each other. Buddhism teaches that clinging to identity is one of the deepest roots of suffering. This includes clinging to religious identity. When someone says, I am this and you are that, a wall is built. When someone says, you suffer as I suffer, a bridge is built. This does not mean beliefs disappear. It means beliefs become tools, not weapons. They become ways to heal, not ways to divide. A religion that creates hatred has lost its soul, no matter how holy its words may sound. True faith is not loud. It is steady. It shows itself in how a person speaks to someone who disagrees, how they treat someone who is weak, how they act when no one is watching. When people from different traditions sit together peacefully, they are already practicing the highest teaching of all traditions. They are practicing respect. They are practicing patience. They are practicing humility. These are not owned by any religion. They belong to the human heart. In Buddhism, there is no interest in converting the world. There is only interest in freeing the mind. If many minds become free, the world will change naturally. Not perfectly, but more gently. Unity does not mean sameness. A forest is beautiful because many trees grow together. If all trees were the same, The forest would be weak. Diversity is not a problem. Fear of diversity is. The path is not one road with one sign. It is many roads leading to the same horizon. The horizon is not a place. It is a way of seeing. When people walk together for peace, they are not saying all beliefs are identical. They are saying that kindness matters more than correctness, and compassion matters more than victory. Many people want to fix the world. They see war, injustice, cruelty, and despair, and they feel the urge to repair it. This urge is beautiful. It comes from compassion, but compassion without wisdom can become frustration. Buddhism teaches that the world we experience is shaped by the mind that experiences it. This does not mean bombs are imaginary or hunger is unreal. It means that how humans create and respond to these conditions comes from mental states, greed, fear, hatred, ignorance, or understanding. If the mind is violent, it will create violent systems. If the mind is greedy, it will create unfair economies. If the mind is confused, it will create chaotic societies. Laws and technology can slow suffering, but they cannot remove its root. The root lives in the way humans think, desire, and react. This is why no single person can change the whole world. Not because they lack power, but because the world is not one object. It is billions of minds acting at once. Even if someone changes a nation, another nation remains. Even if one generation improves, another generation is born with the same old confusion. In Buddhism, there is a saying, you cannot wash blood with more blood. Hatred does not end hatred. It multiplies it. History shows this again and again. Every war claims to end war. Every revenge claims to bring justice. But suffering only changes its uniform. The Buddha did not try to rule. He did not try to conquer. He taught individuals how to see clearly. He trusted that clear seeing would naturally reduce harm. This approach can seem slow. People want fast solutions, but fast solutions built on anger only change the shape of suffering, not its nature. The world is not broken like a machine that needs a new part. It is suffering like a mind that does not understand itself. No one can reach into another person's mind and force wisdom. Each person must see for themselves. This is why the journey for peace is shared but personal. We can walk together, but no one can walk for another. We can teach, but we cannot awaken someone by force. When someone realizes that they cannot fix the whole world, this is not defeat, it is clarity. It means they stop trying to control what they cannot and start caring for what they can. Their own mind, their own actions, their own words. This is not selfishness, it is responsibility. A person who is kind in their family reduces suffering there. A person who is mindful at work reduces harm there. A person who speaks gently in conflict changes that moment. These changes may seem small, but they are real. They are not symbolic. They are lived, and lived change is stronger than spoken change. Buddhism teaches karma not as punishment, but as pattern. What we plant in the mind grows in life. Anger planted grows conflict. Kindness planted grows trust. Confusion planted grows chaos. A society is only the sum of these plantings. No leader can create peace if people continue to plant hatred in daily life. No law can create harmony if minds are trained in greed. This is why the world cannot be changed from the outside alone. Outside change without inside change is decoration on a burning house. But when inside begins to change, outside will follow slowly, unevenly, imperfectly, but truly, not as a miracle, but as a process. Peace is not made by controlling the world. It is made by understanding the mind. When enough minds understand, the world will look different without being forced to. In Buddhist teaching, being born as a human is not taken for granted. It is described as rare, precious, and difficult to obtain. This is not said to make people feel special, but to make them feel responsible. Life is not a casual accident. It is an opportunity that can easily be wasted. There is an old image used to explain this. Imagine a vast ocean. In that ocean floats a single wooden ring. Somewhere beneath the water lives a blind turtle. Once every 100 years, the turtle rises to the surface. The chance that its head will come up exactly through the ring is almost impossible. The Buddha said that being born human is rarer than that, not because humans are superior, but because the conditions needed for a mind capable of understanding suffering and freedom are extremely delicate. A human life has a unique balance. Too much pleasure and there is no motivation to question. Too much pain and there is no strength to reflect. Human life sits between these extremes. It contains enough suffering to ask deep questions and enough comfort to search for real answers. In the modern world, this teaching sounds strange. People are taught that life is common, cheap, replaceable. News shows death every day until it feels unreal. Entertainment turns violence into play. But when someone loses a loved one, suddenly life becomes sacred again. The truth is that it was always sacred. We just forgot to look. Buddhism does not romanticize death, but it does not hide it either. Death is not an accident. It is a certainty. Every breath is one breath closer to the end of this body. This is not meant to create fear. It is meant to create clarity. When people forget death, they waste life. They postpone kindness. They delay forgiveness. They live as if there will always be another chance. But every day, somewhere, someone has no tomorrow. The teaching of impermanence is one of the foundations of Buddhism. Everything that arises will pass. Youth passes. Health passes. Relationships pass. Even mountains will one day become dust. This is not tragedy. It is nature. Suffering comes not from change, but from refusing to accept change. People want love without loss, pleasure without ending, life without death. When reality does not obey these wishes, they feel betrayed. The preciousness of human life is not in how long it lasts, but in what can be understood during it. A long life lived in confusion is not richer than a short life lived with awareness. When disasters, illness, and accidents appear, many ask, why does this happen? Buddhism answers differently. It asks, what will you do with the time you still have? The point is not to escape death, but to meet life fully before death comes. To love while you can. To forgive while voices can still speak. To understand while the mind is still clear. Every moment you are aware is a moment that cannot be wasted. Every breath noticed is a breath honored. The rare gift of being human is not the body itself. It is the chance to wake up inside it. In Buddhist stories, the world is sometimes described as a burning house. This does not mean the earth is evil. It means that life, when driven by craving and ignorance, is constantly on fire. The fires are not always visible. They do not always look like war or disaster. They often look like desire that never rests, anger that never cools, fear that never sleeps. People burn with wanting. They want more money, more attention, more pleasure, more security. Even when they get what they want, it is not enough. Something new appears to chase. This endless hunger is one of the main fires of suffering. People burn with anger. Old insults are remembered like fresh wounds. Small frustrations become large explosions. Many live with a quiet rage that colors every thought. People burn with ignorance, not stupidity, but not seeing clearly. They believe what is temporary will last. They believe what is unstable will protect them. They believe happiness comes from controlling the outside. This burning does not always hurt loudly. Sometimes it hurts slowly. It becomes stress, emptiness, numbness, addiction, anxiety, depression. It becomes a life that looks successful but feels hollow. Modern society feeds these fires. Advertising teaches people to want more. Media teaches people to compare. Speed teaches people to rush. Noise teaches people to forget silence. The firehouse is not only the world. It is also the heart. When the heart is full of craving, hatred, and confusion, it is always hot. There is no cool place to rest. People often try to escape the fire by changing scenery. They move cities, change jobs, change relationships. Sometimes this helps. Often it does not, because they bring the same burning mind with them. Buddhism does not ask people to hate life. It asks them to see how they are burning and why. When fire is seen clearly, it can be cooled. Cooling does not mean becoming cold or indifferent. It means becoming free from being controlled by craving and anger. It means being able to enjoy without clinging and to lose without breaking. The Buddha did not say the world should be destroyed. He said the fires inside should be understood. When craving weakens, life becomes lighter. When hatred softens, life becomes gentler. When ignorance fades, life becomes clearer. A peaceful person is not someone who has no problems. It is someone whose mind is not on fire while facing problems. When people speak of saving the world, Buddhism reminds them to first save their own heart from burning. A burning person spreads fire. A cool person spreads calm. Mindfulness in Buddhism is not a technique. It is a way of being present. It means knowing what is happening while it is happening, without running away and without adding stories. Most suffering does not come from what happens. It comes from what the mind says about what happens. A sound is just a sound. Until the mind says, I hate that. A word is just a word. Until the mind says, I am insulted. A thought is just a thought. Until the mind believes it. Mindfulness creates space. In that space, a person can choose instead of react. They can see anger before it becomes speech. They can feel sadness without drowning in it. They can notice desire without obeying it. Breath is often used as the anchor of mindfulness because it is always here. It does not belong to the past or the future. When attention rests on the breath, the mind comes home. When someone breathes in and knows they are breathing in, that moment is already peaceful. When they breathe out and know they are breathing out, the world slows down. The mind is compared to a monkey in a field, grabbing one thing and then another. It never rests. It damages the field and gains almost nothing. This is how people live. They chase many things and end up tired, not fulfilled. Mindfulness does not kill desire. It shows desire clearly. When desire is seen, it loses its power to command. The person can ask, is this worth my peace? Depression and anxiety often grow from living too much in past and future. Mindfulness brings life back to now. Now is usually safer than the mind believes. Being mindful does not mean being passive. It means acting with clarity. It means speaking when needed, but not from anger. It means walking forward, but not blindly. When people practice mindfulness, their life changes quietly. They listen better. They argue less. They forgive sooner. They suffer less even when pain exists. Peace is not created by removing all problems. It is created by meeting problems with a mind that is awake. Mindfulness is the door because without it, no teaching can be lived. Without awareness, kindness is forgotten, wisdom is ignored, and practice becomes words. With awareness, even simple acts become sacred. Eating becomes gratitude. Walking becomes meditation. Breathing becomes home. Peace does not fall from the sky. It grows from attention. Every moment noticed is a moment rescued from confusion. When people walk for peace, the most important step is not forward. It is inward. A peaceful life is not built in one great moment. It is built in ordinary mornings. It begins before the world has spoken too loudly. Before habits take over. Before the mind starts running. In Buddhism, intention is everything. What the mind plants at the start of the day grows throughout the day. When someone writes or says, "Today is going to be my peaceful day," they are not making a wish. They are planting a seed. The mind listens to what it is told, especially when it is quiet. If nothing good is planted, old habits will plant themselves. Worries, resentments, fears, and cravings will appear automatically. The simple act of writing an intention uses the body to teach the mind. The hand moves, the eyes see, the mouth can speak it. This unites thought, speech, and action. In Buddhism, this is powerful because karma is created through these three doors: mind, speech, and body. A peaceful day is not a day without problems. It is a day where problems are met with awareness. When someone remembers their intention, they pause before reacting, they breathe before speaking, they look at their own mind before blaming another. When anger arises, they do not pretend it is not there. They see it, they feel its heat, they do not let it drive the body like a wild horse. When sadness appears, they do not drown in it. They hold it gently like a crying child. At night, reflection becomes part of peace. Looking back at the day is not for self-punishment. It is for learning. Did I speak with kindness? Did I act with care? If a mistake was made, it is not carved into shame. It is turned into wisdom. Forgiving oneself is part of practice. Buddhism does not teach perfection. It teaches awareness. Every mistake seen clearly becomes a teacher. Then the next morning, the work begins again. Peace is not stored. It must be created again and again. Like breathing. This daily practice slowly changes a person. Their reactions soften. Their patience grows. Their heart becomes more spacious. Others may not know why, but they will feel safer around this person. A peaceful day becomes a peaceful life not through ambition, but through repetition. Buddhism does not try to change the world by command. It changes it by influence. A peaceful person changes the atmosphere of a room without trying. Their calm becomes contagious. When someone in a family stops shouting, the room becomes quieter. When someone listens, others feel heard. When someone forgives, tension weakens. One person cannot control a family, but they can transform how they participate in it. Peace spreads not like fire, but like light. It does not burn. It reveals. It shows others what is possible. Many people think social change begins with power. Buddhism teaches it begins with example. Children learn more from how adults act than from what they say. Communities learn more from behavior than from speeches. A peaceful worker changes a workplace. A kind neighbor changes a street. A patient driver changes traffic, even if only for a moment. These changes seem small, but they are real. History is not only written by leaders. It is written by millions of daily choices. When enough people choose awareness over reaction, the culture slowly changes. Violence becomes less acceptable. Cruelty becomes less admired. Kindness becomes normal. The world does not need heroes who save it once. It needs people who protect it every day through ordinary goodness. Buddhism does not promise a perfect world. It promises a better one, created through better minds. Compassion in Buddhism means not turning away from suffering, even when it is uncomfortable. It means seeing others not as obstacles, but as beings struggling like oneself. When people walk for peace, the most important part is not the distance. It is the spirit. It is the vow not to abandon others, even those who are different, slow, confused, or difficult. This is why true peace work is patient. It does not rush ahead and leave the wounded behind. It does not insult those who do not yet understand. It waits, teaches, listens, and walks again. In Buddhism, every being is seen as a traveler in ignorance. Some are ahead, some are behind, but all are moving, even if slowly. Judgment stops walking. Compassion keeps walking. When people from many backgrounds sit together peacefully, they are practicing this walking. They are saying, "You are not my enemy. You are my companion." This does not mean agreeing on everything. It means caring even when disagreeing. A peaceful world is not one without difference. It is one without hatred for difference. Walking together means making room. It means slowing down when others are tired. It means speaking gently when others are afraid. Peace is not lonely. It is shared. In Buddhism, the path is not something outside of life. It is life lived with awareness. People often think peace is a destination, somewhere to arrive after enough effort. But peace is not a place. It is a way of walking. When someone breathes with awareness, they are already on the path. When they speak with kindness, they are already on the path. When they forgive, when they listen, When they pause before reacting, they are already walking in peace. The path is not owned by monks, temples, or books. It belongs to anyone who chooses to see clearly and love wisely. Becoming the path means that your life itself teaches, not by preaching, but by being. Your calm becomes a lesson. Your patience becomes a message. Your compassion becomes a bridge. This is how peace survives in a violent world, not by fighting violence, but by refusing to become it. When many people become the path becomes wide enough for the world. Peace does not wait for permission. It begins whenever someone decides to wake up. And every time someone does, the world becomes slightly less dark.